Hello and welcome to this demo video for the events list and calendar. What the spreadsheet does is it essentially takes a list of events and puts it onto two calendars and monitors some things on a dashboard. The reason why we created this is because we're finding a lot of people are asking us to make calendars within Excel that show data from a list. Not only that, but also to be able to obviously monitor the data on the list as well as to give reports based on all of that data. So it is a little bit of a strange one for Excel doing calendars, but nonetheless it's a request that we find we often get asked for. So let me just show you how this works. On the first page, the intro and setup sheet, we've got the preparation number of hours. You can change this to how many hours. So in other words, how many hours before your event starts do you want to be notified if you haven't prepared for that event? The preparation is so simple: yes, you prepared, or no, you're not prepared. So if you haven't prepared for an event, how long before the event, in hours before the event starts, you want to be notified of that. So you can put in 24 hours, you can put in 100 hours, you can put in 3 hours, whatever it is that you feel is necessary. You'll see when we use the spreadsheet what that means. The other one are the event types. You can list up to 10 different event types. So if you're using this for networking, you can select different types of networking events. If you're using this for events that you're doing, you can list them in maybe different venues or different types. So whatever categories your events would fall into, you can list up to 10 different categories. So you can rename these whatever it is that you want to use. So you set that up before you start. This you can change at any time, it's not a problem. But these ones, if you change, you'll have to go and reselect them on the list of events. And then all that there is to do is to list your events. So as you can see, I've put in a few dates here. Today, as we make this video, is the 18th of June. So you can see we've got some for the future, we've got some in the past. So according to this, there's one that starts tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., which means we're within the 24-hour period. I haven't yet selected that I've prepared, so it shows that there's one prep warning, and it's this one here. It shows up as a warning that I need to prepare for that event. If I have prepared for it, I simply tick it, and it goes white and it says you've prepared. But let's just take that up for now. So all you need to do for each event is put it on one line: the date, the starting time, the ending time, the event name, and then select from the drop down list the event type. These will be as per the selections that you've made on the previous page. All you need to do then is check when you've prepared it, and if you attend, you can check that you've attended the meeting. If you leave it blank and you go beyond that date, it marks you down as having not gone to that meeting. So that's in case you want to keep track of, how if these are networking events, for argument's sake, how many of the networking events that you plan to attend you actually attended, that kind of thing. So that's essentially all the information that you need. Let me just explain one thing about the times. If you start the time here, so say for argument's sake, you start this time at 1:30, but you end at say 2 o'clock in the morning. What it's going to do is it's going to take that as 2 o'clock the next morning. If the end time is earlier than the start time, it takes it as the next day. If the end time is later than the start time, it takes it as the same day ending. Just in case you've got an event that starts at 10 o'clock at night, maybe ends at 3 in the morning, if you do such a thing, it will take that into consideration. But if you start at 10 o'clock at night, end at 11 p.m., it'll take it as that same night, not the following night, if that makes sense. So you can list your event, you can list up to 1,000, and it will monitor all of them in the pages to come. First of all, you've got your monthly calendar. Your monthly calendar shows the events into categories. If you scroll across the right, you can see at the top, you can see which categories are what color. And you can see when to event, missed event, preparation required. So you can see the key over there. So as you can see, today is Monday the 18th, so tomorrow I've got an event number 4, which is I still need to prepare for, so that's showing me what category that is in. If you want to see another month, so let's just go to the list of events, and you say, well, let's see July, because you've got 2 events on in July. Whoops, all you need to do then is go to the month, select July and the year 2018, and it'll change accordingly to show you what you've got in July. If you want the current month, simply remove those, and when it's blank, it'll show you the current month. It'll load up again. It's just busy loading. There you go, the event and the current month. So if you leave them blank, it'll show you the current month. Otherwise, you can put in the month that you want and it'll load it up for you. The other option is the daily calendar. As you can see here, I've put in the 14th of June, so you can see what was happening on the 14th of June. If you want to see today, simply clear that, and it'll change to 18th of June. It'll show me that I've got no events on today. So what this does is it shows you a 24-hour period from midnight to midnight. It'll show you the events. If you had 2 events on, so let's just say this event number 2 lasted a bit longer. If you go to list events, event number 2 lasted until say 15:30, it'll show you there that these 2 are overlaps. It'll show you've got an overlap of time. And if you go to your daily calendar, it'll show you 2 events occurring during this period. So it'll show you an overlap. So obviously when you're doing this, you just need to make sure that you don't have that situation. Alright, so you've seen the monthly calendar, you've seen the daily calendar. Again, just remove that to see today. There's no events scheduled for today. Those are the 2 calendars that you can use. The other thing that you can do is your list of events. When you've got more, if you're going to keep listing these events and you keep adding up and you keep on going, you're eventually going to get down to 1,000. If you just sort them by date, if you want to remove these events, let's just say the past events, you could highlight that section like that, right click copy, go to your archived events, right click there, paste values, and then come to this one, the list of events. You still got your selection selected, right click and say clear contents, and then resort by the date. So what that would do is it would remove them off of here and put them onto your archive ones. Let's just do clear contents there, and then that would form part of your report. The thing is, anything on your archive list you can't view on the calendars. So you only really want to take the ones that are outdated that you're not going to be looking at the calendars for, and then put them on. I would suggest anything that's been off for longer than 6 months. The reason for that is the last sheet, which is your dashboard. Just one thing before we go, remember the archive events, when you're pasting here, don't use normal paste, always paste values. Normal paste can ruin the spreadsheet. You want to click right click and paste values. Back to this is a dashboard, the final sheet. This is why I said 6 months, because you can see the events that have happened in the last 6 months. You can see what's due to happen in the next 6 months, and you can see what's on in the current month. They're broken down by category, so you can see there's one of each of those categories, and one of those, and 2 of those categories. So you can see exactly what's actually happening on your the category names at the bottom there on your spreadsheet as far as what events are planned, what's have gone by. So when they're beyond 6 months, if they were beyond 6 months before the date, they'll fall off of this chart, and then you may as well just move them across to the archive events. You'll see the archive breakdown will fall into those 2 boxes over there. Here you can see your attendance record, and there you can see the type of jobs, the breakdown of the type of jobs that you've had. So that's quite useful as well. And then at the bottom, you've got how many overlapping events, how many preparation warnings, how many events on today, how many times do you have too many events. That means how many times do you have more than 5 events in a day, because if you look at the monthly calendar, there are only space for 5 events per day. So if you've got more than 5, it'll show up as having too many events on one or more occasion. And how many future events do you have? 3. So you've got 3 events coming up. So that's just a dashboard of what's happening on your list. Really, all you do is update this list and keep this list as up to date as possible. That will then fuel the monthly calendar and the daily calendar, where you can select the dates. If this list gets full up, remove some of the old ones by copying and pasting values to your archived events, and then coming and removing those ones off of here by clearing contents and resorting. You can look at your dashboard at any stage, which will give you an up-to-date view of what's happening. And just remember, when you're starting off, to do your preparation hours and your event types. If you do get stuck, you can watch this demo video by clicking on that link there, or the YouTube link. So I think that's all you need to know, and I wish you all the best for you and your business. Thank you very much. Goodbye.